Well,
How are you gonna get over it, lads?
I think we're going to go on stage and play.
You're going to go on stage and play,
Yes.
and that's it.
I mean, me as a drummer, I try to prepare myself as building the cymbals up that nothing can hit me. You know, I try to, but it's not working.
Now, that's okay for a drummer, but for a guitarist, unless you stand behind the back line, you've got a problem.
No, I use it as a baseball bat, the guitar.
Somebody that knows well the stage, though he hasn't actually played on it, is a fellow by the name of Bruce Dickinson, and you're headlining this year, and it's something you've wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, the last festival we did in England was Reading Festival. And I think somebody threw a Christmas cake on that occasion, which like a whole Christmas cake,
yeah.
Which it must have been a very, very difficult thing to hold on to for a whole festival. I mean, either without eating it or without something else nicking.
Five and a half minutes past 10 o'clock, the Friday Rock Show from BBC Radio Nottingham, checking out what's going to happen tomorrow, meeting the people who are going to be on stage at the 9th Annual Monsters of Rock Festival. There you heard Savage, that was my Helloween, two members of the band in the studio, Kai Hansen, who plays the guitar, and Ingo Schwichtenberg, who plays the drums, and that time I got it wrong.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that was the best one.
It was, that was the best one. That was, I thought, the wrong one. Give us just a very quick potted history of the band. There are 5 members in the band. Are you all from Germany?
Yeah. Yes, we are. All from the same town.
Whereabouts?
Hamburg.
In Hamburg?
Yeah.
That's a good rocking town.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You like it.
The rock scene in Germany is very frenetic. It's very heavy, isn't it? There's a lot of thrash, real hard thrash bands in Germany.
What? In Germany, yeah, in general, yes, but in Hamburg especially, this it's split up in all directions.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been together?
Ingo, and Marcus, our bass player, we've been together since 8 years now, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
And how many albums have you actually made?
This one we made now recently is our third album, actually.
It's just your third.
Yeah.
What about maxi singles?
Yeah, we started up with a maxi mini LP.
Yeah.
So to say.
That was the first thing you ever did.
Yeah.
Then you got signed to the Noise record label in Germany.
Yes.
Okay. Stay around, gentlemen, from Halloween. Bruce, how do you fancy taking a phone call?
Sure, okay.
Okay, there's a gentleman here who's on the line. His name is Craig Lowe. He's of Corby, and he's here. So, Craig, how are you? Craig, are you there? Craig, talk to me. Craig Lowe of Corby doesn't seem to be there at the moment. Let's try Paul Grundy of Walsall. Paul Grundy of Walsall, can you hear me? Paul Grundy of Walsall cannot hear me either from the sound of it. Okay, so what we'll do instead... Bruce, can I play the B-side of your current single?
Sure, of course you can.
Prowler 88.
Yes.
Recorded because of what? Because you got great respect for the old song?
Yeah, but recorded because we thought the first record had great songs and lousy production. Which is something that we always acknowledge. The guitars sounded like bees in bottles, and so we actually wanted Martin Birch to produce it from day one.
Yeah.
And because the band, it was their first album and everything, I mean, Steve thought, oh, God, he'll never be interested in doing us. Of course, he was sitting there waiting for the phone to ring.
Yeah.
I mean, so he got it right on Killers, you know, but... So, really, we're steadily re-recording the first album. Sorry, I'm choking from your cigarette smoke. I'm sorry, I'm a militant non-smoker.
Okay.
I'm really sorry about this, guys.
But while Bruce coughs his way into oblivion, hopefully not because he's got to perform tomorrow night, this is Prowler 88.
See the lady flashing
Now that, just in case you've been away for your summer holidays and as yet you haven't bought the single, is on the B-side of The Evil That Men Do, the current single for Iron Maiden that's in the charts here in the United Kingdom. Prowler 88, the Friday rock show. It's 28 minutes now before 11 o'clock. Right, are you going to do that live on stage tomorrow?
I have to wait and see. Actually, we've got a few surprises tomorrow that we're going to do. We did a little show on Wednesday night at my old college, actually, Queen Mary College down the East End in London. Yeah. And it was all with borrowed equipment, which just confirmed us in our belief that we got the best sound system around, I'm afraid. But we did a run-through of all the stuff we're going to do tomorrow. Yeah. And sounded pretty good.
So, a few surprises.
A few surprises. I mean, there's been plenty of reviews of the American show we've been doing, but we've added a few things for Donington, video screens and more pyros, a different lighting rig, different stage scenery and stage sets and bits, and of course people just haven't seen the new Eddies, and there's all kinds of stuff we got tomorrow.
It's going to be a spectacle.
And it's going to be a couple of hours of spectacle too.
Okay, let's see if we can get somebody on the phone now. How about Craig Lowe of Corby? Can you hear me, Craig?
Yeah.
How are you?
All right.
How you doing, Craig?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, what's your question, mate?
I'd like to ask, is it true that you're splitting up?
No, it's not true that we are splitting up. This is one of these things. I'll tell you the other thing that isn't true. It's also not true that our equipment was searched for 48 hours by the Customs Service and held up, and that we were fined £20,000. Neither is it true that, well, actually, most other things you read in the papers aren't true. There's probably something else they wrote the other day that isn't. Oh, yes, it's not true that Guns N' Roses, somebody, I believe it was on Radio 1, actually, we're trying to find out who it is that like, did it and get them kneecapped. But, I mean, they said that we threw Guns N' Roses off our US tour because they were going down too well, which is totally untrue and inaccurate, and really peeved us, seeing as Guns N' Roses are on the bill with us here at Donington, and it seemed like a cheap shot to, like, divide up the group, or divide up the group of acts on the bill. So we'd like to refute all of those things. We're not splitting up. Guns N' Roses didn't get thrown off the bill. The singer got a very sore throat and almost had to go into the hospital and have an operation. That's why they pulled off the tour. And our equipment wasn't searched. We are taking a year off after this tour, and then we're going to spend some time making the new record, so it'll be a while before you hear anything directly from Iron Maiden, but the rest of us will all still be in circulation doing other bits. How about that?
So, Craig Lowe of Corby, are you happy with the answers there?
Yes, can I just say one more thing?
Yep, you can, quickly.
Would you be able to send me a signed photograph of you all?
We will endeavour to take your address and make sure we can get that together for you.
Yes, mate.
All right?
Thanks.
Now let's turn to Paul Grundy. Paul Grundy of Walsall. Hi, welcome to the Friday Rock Show.
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
Fine, thanks.
Okay, this is Bruce Dickinson for you.
Well, I was wondering, where do you get your ideas from for your songs?
All kinds of places. From you know, the usual answers you give is like, oh, we get them from books, from films, from everything. You actually get your ideas for songs from all kinds of places. I always keep a little notebook or one of those little pocket tape recorders with me wherever I am, and if I hear a little catchphrase, or even if I see something on the street, like a couple of drunks having an argument or something, it just occasionally happens that somebody says something that's incredibly deep or something in those situations, and you think, oh God, I better write that down quick, you know. And that is an inspiration for lyrics, and lyrics are in turn an inspiration for music. And sometimes you get an idea for a melody or a tune that just comes into your head, and then you marry it up with the lyrics, and you just take it from there. Does that go anywhere to answering your question?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Are you happy, Paul, with all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just remind everybody about our telephone number. It is 0602 343434. That's 0602 343434. Dial that number now if you'd like to chat to the two members that we have in the studio, Kai and Ingo from HELLOWEEN. Okay, dial that number right now. But the final call for Bruce Dickinson comes from Richard Goad of Leicester. Mr. Richard Goad, go for it.
Hello there, Rick.
Hello there.
Live from Leicester here, where I think all my neighbours in Leicester are hoping to hear you tomorrow, as you stated on the Friday Rock Show, I think.
Yes.
Right then. Question here. We've been whiling away the hours, waiting for tomorrow in anticipation. That's me, Brian, Stephen and John upstairs. We're listening on the other phone. And we've been playing Scruples, a game which no doubt you've heard of.
Yes, I hear. So it's a very unscrupulous game.
Yes, well, we've had a few arguments about it, or a few questions. And one particular question cropped up that I think someone might have slipped in there.
Go on then.
Sure about.
What is it?
And it said, You are Bruce Dickinson, and
Yes.
you're in a dilemma. 4 of your most long, loyal serving fans, along with the other guys in Maine, of course, and old Tommy out there, are having problems trying to meet you, actually. I mean, the closest they've got so far is having a talk with you, but they actually like to meet you. Now, your answer in saying whether you can arrange this tomorrow, possibly, is yes, no, or depends. Having given your answer, you've also got to give a reason for your answer.
Depends.
You're on the stage, Bruce. Give us your answer.
You want the answer on the stage?
I want the answer on the stage.
It depends.
No, I want it now, man.
You want the answer now? Okay.
I want it now.
Well, it depends.
It depends, but give me a reason why it depends.
Well, there's 80,000 people in the arena, and they could all probably give me a good reason why they would really like to meet me, but that's not possible. So I would say to you, what's your reason why the 4 of you are so special that you should be able to do something that the other 80,000 people aren't, unfortunately, able to do?
Okay, here I go. We're 4 students that have come all the way from Bolton, although my parents live in Leicester. They're away on holiday, they're allowed to stay
What about
here.
all the people that come from Scotland?
Yeah, I know, true. But
What
we're
about all
4
the
students.
what about my mates who are coming from Germany?
What about me?
You're there with him, you lucky sod.
Well, I will be. You're absolutely right.
What do you mean that, people?
This could actually develop into a game of scruples, and that sometimes lasts about 5 or 6 hours.
It could go all night. It could go on all night.
So,
Listen,
Richard Goad, I'm going to have to cut you off there.
listen, mate.
because-
The pubs are still open. I advise you to get down there quick.
I only want to listen to you, Bruce. You don't want to go to the pub.
See you tomorrow live on stage.
Go to the pub. It's more fun.
Iron Maiden, Can I Play With Madness? Bruce is in the studio. We're having a chat with him, and he's... actually, what are you going to do tonight before the show?
I'm going to go to bed. It's terribly boring, isn't it?
But where are you going to go to bed? You're not driving back to London, are you?
No, we're hanging out. We're hanging out around Leicester sort of area around there. Because in fact, the whole area, there's like Nottingham and Derby and Leicester and all the post house places and everything all near the site. They're all absolutely chock-a-block with people. I've actually been up here since Wednesday night. I got here Wednesday night.
Working out the sound.
We did the sound check 11 o'clock Thursday morning. Which was absolutely diabolical having to go. I mean, because we did a show the night before and you're getting up and the guy's going, sing please, you're going, you know. So then we did like a load of photo sessions and stuff, and then we did interviews. Tonight is actually going to be the quietest night I've had for about 2 weeks. Right. You know, I'm just going to be able to lie in my bed. I'm going to get up tomorrow, I'm going to think, nothing to do today.
Not
except,
much.
Except, you know. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited by the whole thing.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a great one.
You're also off from here on the rest of the European leg of the tour.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
A lot of work to do, but I think it's worthwhile stating that this is what the last appearance for Iron Maiden for. It's got to be over a year in this country.
Yeah, that's right. I should add that anybody who stays till the very end of the concert tomorrow night will learn something to their great advantage.
Okay. Bruce Dickinson, from the horse's mouth, dare I say it that way, or should I say from the fencer's mouth? Bruce, have a good night's kit. See you on stage tomorrow.
Yeah, mate.
Thank you very much.
Sherry, bye.
Bye-bye now. Okay, we have on the radio car Dante Benuto, who's down at the site, the Castle Donington site, and he's going to sort it out for us and tell us what it's like. Daddy, can you hear me, my old son?
Yes, I can, Tommy. Can I just say that I'd also like to meet Bruce, so I'm convinced he owes me a drink, and that's a very good reason indeed, I think.
Do you?
Do I owe you a drink, Dante?
I'm absolutely convinced of it, Bruce, absolutely convinced.
Why do I owe you a drink?
I don't know, because, well, I think we've met many times, and it's your turn, I think, basically.
But, you know, Dante, I don't drink.
What's that bottle of beer doing there? Anyway, tell us, Dandy, what's it like down there? Is it muddy and terrible, or is it really good and exciting?
Well, I would say it's muddy and good and exciting. I'm sort of the Friday Rock Show's man in the field, because I am, in fact, standing in a field at the moment, well, very close to the campsite, in fact, adjacent to the festival site, where those who want to get very close to the stage tomorrow are going to be spending the night, camping out, getting within range of Gene Simmons' tongue tomorrow. And let's find out a bit more about that. How are they going to spend the night? The easy questions first. Now, what's your name?
Alan.
And you?
Paul.
And you?
Rick.
And you have an absolutely unpronounceable name, even worse than mine. Hit us with it.
Milorad.
And you're Yugoslavian, aren't you? But from Rochdale.
That's right, yeah.
Now, you've all been down to the heart of the campsite. What's the spirit like down there at the moment?
Happy and drunk.
And lots of fires. And lots of
Lots of mud.
And lots of mud.
Music, and that's it, really. I mean, this is great.
Fireworks, loads of fireworks. And you get blown up everywhere you walk.
I understand you actually got 9 people in your tent alone. Is this true?
2-man tent, 9 people.
That's true, that's true.
Everyone we meet, this bloke sort of whose tent it is invites more people.
Should be fun. So how are you going to spend tonight? You're sleeping or partying?
Sleeping in a plastic bin line.
Yeah,
That's about it,
bin liners, and we'll be partying at Rock City. Yeah. Well,
So have you actually been to the Monster Rock Festival in the past?
Yeah, twice.
And what do you make of it?
I think it's really good, yeah. I never actually slept over at the campsite. I've slept in the village before, but, you know, it seems all right.
I'm sure it's an experience worth having.
Oh, yeah.
And do you actually come for the individual bands or for the whole event?
Well, for the whole event, really. I mean, you come no matter who's on. But, like, this year we've all come for Dave Lee Roth live anyway.
It's funny, you like Living Colour too, don't you? In fact, you were going to ask Tommy to play Living Colour.
That's true.
Tommy, play, which one?
Living Colour.
Cult of Personality.
That's right.
Shut up. Cult of Personality by Living Colour.
I'm sure he'll take due note of that. Now, you've obviously been to the festival before too. You look like a hardened veteran of these sorts of
I know.
If someone had never been and you had to recommend a sort of Donington survival kit, what sort of things should they bring with them?
First aid.
Raincoat.
Absolutely, a ticket as well helps.
Wellies. Oh yeah, ticket. That would help. Wellies.
And 3 pints of orange juice, I think would be most helpful.
And Milorad Vasic.
Well, I noticed you were nursing a bottle of something clearly medicinal earlier. Is that to keep you warm?
Yeah, it's to help me through the night.
Side woman, never mind.
Yeah, well, you know.
Now, I'm mainly going to be headlining this year's event, as Bruce has been telling us recently. Now, is that good news as far as you're
That's
concerned?
very good news,
The Maiden
yeah.
fans here?
Yeah, it's very good news, and I think it's a good lineup this side. Side made headline, it's great.
Do you think it's a good idea mixing up bands like Guns N' Roses and Megadeth so you get sort of stone stuff and thrash stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
variety,
you get
yeah.
lots of people in.
Yeah.
And you get different people wanting to come down as opposed just to the one lot.
You know, it's great, like, a band that supported, like, Kiss in the past and now supporting, you know, I'm headlining now. It's great, you know. That's it.
Well, good luck for tomorrow. I hope you get very close to the stage indeed. You're going to make it a mad dash in the morning?
Sure am. And everyone in Rochdale, tough luck, you're not here, so there.
Okay, well, now, you wanted a Yingwei Mountain show as well, I think.
Ingve Mountain, yeah. I wanted a trilogy, but it's like...
Well, I suggest we go and sing Yngwie Mountain songs around the campfire and hand back to Tommy in the studio. Goodbye, Tommy.
Thank you, Dante. Dante Baruto out in the radio car on the Donington site. This is the Friday Rock Show, BBC Radio 1. It's 12.5 minutes to 11. We've got the music, we've got the people who make it. Still to come on the Friday Rock Show tonight, we'll be talking to members of KISS. Helloween are still in the studio. Unfortunately, no Slayer except... 7.5 minutes down to 11. This is the Friday Rock Show here on BBC Radio 1. We have now two members of KISS, Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
It's so nice to be here, mate. It's a bit of all right, you know what I mean?
It's good to be here.
We were wondering why you were sitting here doing these interviews without any pants on. Why is that?
Because it's cooler.
That's how you stay cool.
Well,
that's how you stay cool. That's great Cockney accent time.
Well, thanks a lot, mate.
I mean, where did you learn it from that film? What was that? The great send-up film. The name escapes me.
No, you know, we learned it by listening to A Hard Day's Night and Help, you know, and
Beatles.
Picking up little Beatles.
Yeah.
Beatles.
This is George Harrison of the Beatles.
I love this.
Talking like that.
Talking like that, blowing my nose.
You were born in Israel.
Yes, I was.
I didn't know that until I read that the other day. I thought you were a thoroughbred American.
No, well, we all try to be, I suppose, but, well, what do you mean we all try to be? No, I was born in Israel, popped out of there, and came to the United States when I was about 9 years of age, and have been when something is decadent and then it's been ized, combine those two words, what happens?
Decadentized.
Thank you.
Maybe sign.
Your dentures are in much better than mine, but so that's what happened ever since then.
How did you meet Paul Stanley?
We were running around the streets of New York. Go on. You can barge in. Go on.
Okay, I saw Gene walking down. I saw this hermaphrodite walking down the street.
Yeah.
You know, this I couldn't quite make out if it was a
man or a woman.
A man or a woman.
But I sure wanted to get close to it.
That's right. And I saw this tongue hanging out of the mouth, and
which is incidentally available for bar mitzvahs, weddings, $3.98 a lick.
Actually, we met at a friend's house, and
boy was she good.
And the rest is history. You know, we just kind of got together and took it from there.
How was the marquee the other night? You did the first night at the new marquee in London.
Right. We figured that that it needed a little bit of dirt, and we figured we would help put a little bit of dirt into the cracks in the floor. It was really a lot of fun. Actually, just before we came over to the UK from the States, we did a couple of clubs in New York. And it was just a nice feeling of going into a club and getting a chance to play for a much smaller audience.
Well, I was there and I watched you, and I thought for the first 2 or 3 numbers you were a little bit unsure of yourself because you were so close to
we were banging into each other all the time.
Exactly.
It really wasn't even that we were unsure of ourselves as much as we didn't even get to do a sound check there. So literally what it came down to was walking out on the stage in front of a crowd, plugging in the guitars and hoping for the best. And pretty much for most of the night we couldn't hear anything. So there were times when a song had ended and I was still in the third verse, you know.
It must have been quite amazing also because your stage show for years and years and years and years has been the ultimate really in spectacle.
We've always contended though that above and beyond all that, KISS is a group of guys who write songs, because no matter what anybody ever talks about in terms of flash pods and tongues and various other appendages of the body that keep flicking in and out, above and beyond all that, there are songs. People, 70 million fans or however many there are out there that bought our records, can never do anything more than just buy the records. And I mean, even though KISS scientists have been hard at work at putting flash pods into the records, it hasn't been done. It's always just been songs.
Right.
And that's always been our contention, and that's why we did a couple of gigs. Just
sometimes it's even stronger. You know, sometimes you make more of a point by doing less. You know, sometimes people might have come to shows and said, well, you know, it's just a lot of fireworks and a lot of smoke. But the fact is that when you take away the fireworks and smoke, there's still a lot of fireworks and smoke, and it has nothing to do with pyro. You know, it just has to do with music. Ultimately, you're going to stand or fall on the songs. And after 23 albums, you figure you've got a pretty good chance of standing.
Am I not right in saying I think that the 23rd album is going to be a compilation?
Yeah, it's actually, it should be out October 17th. It's called Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits.
Another subtle title from KISS.
Yeah, little bit of play on words. And there's probably about 12 tunes that have been remixed. Old tunes, going back to Love Gun.
Cold Gin.
First record going back to Cold Gin and Firehouse, stuff like that. 2 new tracks that, one's called...
that Paul Stanley produced and wrote.
Get to that. Yeah. I produced and wrote them.
You're a great double act, you guys.
Oh, we're comedy all the way.
The Mutt and Jeff of rock.
The one's called Let's Put the X in Sex, and the other one's called You Make Me Rock Hard.
And these are the ballads, folks.
And I wonder what they're all about.
Very sentimental.
Let's work out what this is all about. Kiss on stage just before Iron Maiden tomorrow at the Monsters of Rock Festival at Castle Donington. That's their current single, Turn on the Night. Kiss are in the studio, but also in the studio still we have HANSEN and Ingo Schwichtenberg of HELLOWEEN. We also have some people on the telephone as well who've got some questions for HELLOWEEN. Jonathan Kraut, or possibly Grout it is, from Newton Abbot. Jonathan, you there?
Yeah, sure.
What's your question for HELLOWEEN, my man?
Briefly, what's the concept behind the 7 keys out there?
Well, yeah, the concept, I think the concept consists of 2 songs, split up on 2 albums. This is Keep of the 7 Keys Part 1 and Part 2. And on the first album it's the song HELLOWEEN, and on the second album it's the song Keep of the 7 Keys, of course. And the concept is just, well, basically if you want to change something in life and in what's going on in this world, you have to change something in yourself, maybe. And the 7 keys are meant to close up the 7 seas of evil, and that's not meant. There are no 7 seas that really exist somewhere in the world, but they exist in every man's heart, and this is just where you have to find the keys to close up these seas of evil in your own heart. And if everybody does it, then we got a good world.
Jonathan, you were confused as I am.
Was that hard to understand? I mean,
yeah, I see what you mean.
But the concept sounds good, the music sounds good as well, and that's the most important thing.
Can you just say a quick hello to Scott and Wayne?
You've just done it yourself. Jonathan, thank you very much indeed. Okay, mate. Carl Black from Surrey, your question.
Hello? This is Carl Black, and
hello.
I just wanted to ask HELLOWEEN, what were their early days in Germany like?
Well, I think we were all born as babies.
Yeah? Well, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And, well, the early days in Germany were just simply garage band playing rock and roll in a garage, and, well, this is where we started.
Struggling.
Struggling for, well, we never had a real attitude to get just working for a record contract and saying we gotta reach the top or something. We're just playing music, and, well, of course we were all dreaming of
making a record.
Yeah, making a record and everything. But we were just normal making music, and that was
the normal band history. In other words,
we
right?
were just grown into it, and that's all.
Okay, Carl, thanks for your question.
Okay, thanks.
Take care. Julie Barrell, a lady. Welcome to the program from Merseyside.
Hello?
Hi, Julie.
Hey, can you tell me, well, 2 questions here. The first one is, how did Michael get to join the band?
Well, this is from Marcus, our bass player. He phoned some guy up, and he knew a guy that was Michael Kiske, and he said he has a great voice. And one day he came and joined us in our practice room, and his voice was amazing, and we liked him, and there was no question to take him. And so Marcus, the bass player, it was his goal.
So there's your answer, Julie. Thank you very much indeed for your call. Our telephone number is 0602 343434. 0602 343434. Questions for Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley from Kiss being taken now. But I'm going to play something that I'm being selfish, so I won't talk about it. I'll just play. 83, the album called Lick It Up, Kiss, and all hell is breaking loose. In our studio now we have Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons from Kiss. Of course, they're on the bill at the Monsters of Rock Festival tomorrow at Castle Donington. It's going to be a magic monster occasion. Gentlemen, what's the biggest hell-raising thing you've ever done? Because you both have got the most, I was going to say, impeccable reputations.
Absolutely, we're angels.
Which, of course, would be a complete lie. I mean, you're known as the biggest, or used to be maybe known as the biggest hellraisers in the business. I mean, how many televisions have you thrown out of hotel windows?
We don't throw televisions out the window. We don't have time to do that.
You don't?
We're usually strapped to a bed.
Psychiatric.
That's right. We're usually in for some very heavy-duty therapy.
Should we stop talking about that heavy-duty therapy? Because I read a great article about the other day that